Welcome to Florida Education News. My name is Dr. Tony Arza, and today I have the pleasure of sitting down with an Orange County School Board candidate, Gloria Reina O'Neill.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to sit down with you.
Very nice to meet you as well.
So, it's election season in Florida, and one of the big things that we're trying to do at Florida Education News is make sure that voters have the opportunity to know a little bit about the candidates that are on the ballot. And so when we saw that you were on the ballot, we wanted to sit down and just get to know a little bit about you. You know, why are you running for school board? You know, what motivated you to run for office?
Yeah, well, I appreciate that question. So just to give you a little background about me, I'm originally from Miami, Florida. I've been an Orange County resident for 10 years in the district in Lake Nona. I'm an OCPS mom, so I've done everything from being on the PTA to be on SAC. And I'm proud that my son is a graduate of Lake Nona High School, and I have a younger son at Eagle Creek. So I'm running because I know firsthand what it is to be a mom in the school system. And I did Leadership Orange this year, which is a class practicum to take you through beginning to end, like the ins and out of OCPS. And I really said, you know, what can I do to do more? Not just as a parent, but as a person who has a background in, you know, serving the community. I've worked in housing for 15 years. And in that medium, I've had to really work to deal with budgets. I've had to work with, you know, legal issues, fair housing. And I love working in housing. I really want to take some of the skills that I've learned and apply them to the issues that are going in Orange County. We have declining enrollment, we have school closures, we have a lot of policies that need to be looked on collaboratively. So I'm running to add my talents and serve in my community.
And you know, you bring up housing, and obviously it's not news to you that a lot of voters in the state of Florida and around the country are struggling with housing.
Yeah.
How do you think that schools play into that? How do you hope to try to support some of the voters, and if at all?
Yeah, so right now I know there's some initiatives to do, you know, single family homes for teachers or provide some more housing options. I would love to look at different adaptive reuse that we could do within the school district for our schools that we are not using, how we're looking and looking at vacant land that we have, and can there be other uses where we could do multifamily properties, provide density, work with other partners such as, you know, Orlando Housing Authority or other private partnerships. One other thing that I think would be valuable, you know, they have hometown hero programs and a lot of programs that are funded by the state, but how are we making sure that teachers and individuals within Orange County are aware of these programs and get maybe preferences or just more access to it? So I think from education, from doing some internal initiatives, and really providing that feedback to the teachers and individuals that work within Orange County, we can expand affordable housing.
Well, you know, one of the big things now that, you know, educators and constituents in Florida are interested in understanding is school choice. Mm-hmm. So in Orange County, you've had some schools close. Yeah. You've had declining enrollment. And there are some people that have said that that's because of the private school scholarships. Mm-hmm. They say it's because of school choice. There are other people that say that, no, that's a reaction to a failing public school system. Mm-hmm. And, you know, regardless of where people feel, I think that everyone wants to know where their school board members stand in this conversation, mm-hmm. because it's the conversation that touches education. So where do you stand on school choice?
Yeah, I mean, I stand that I believe every parent should have the right to do and put their child in a school that's best for their needs. And you have children that within our district that have IEPs, that want advanced learning, Montessori education. They want something that's a little bit more broad than maybe their local community school or public school has. And so I believe that every parent should have the choice to do what's best for their education. In saying that, I want to make sure that Orange County Public Schools offers alternative options that can match those options. So if there are, you know, more micro schools potentially for gifted academies that are focused on sports and things that are, you know, the flexibility that people are saying, okay, I might choose to do school differently because this is a priority for our family. How can OCPS also provide those priorities where there's equal options? But ultimately, I feel that every parent should have the choice to do what is best for their child's education. I just want to continue to support our public schools and they be funded appropriately.
And so then, you know, what I'm hearing in your answer is that you embrace the competition, that you think that it's a healthy competition? Is that a way?
No, I think what you're hearing is that I think every individual is going to make an option that they feel is best for their family, and if and we need to make sure OCPS needs to make sure that we provide options. And if a parent feels that there's a better option, because as I canvass, I hear and talk to parents that they tell me the why their child is or isn't in public school. So I want to take note of that. So, there is competition, but I think it's more that everyone has a choice to do what's best for their family, and I believe in that.
And I think it makes sense having parents involved in education.
Yeah.
The starting point for a good education for a child is to have their parents. At least that's what I believe. And the other big thing that some people don't realize is school board races on the ballot. It's not the top priority for voters when they go to the ballot.
I agree.
But people don't realize that school districts in their communities are economic engines, and that the decisions that the school board makes with the budget, it impacts the local community. And in Orange County, it's about $5-6 billion. It's an extremely large budget, and most people, maybe don't know that or have the time to even sit down and understand that. But the decisions that you would make as a board member are going to impact the community economically. How are you going to make sure that those dollars are working for the people in the community? The number one issue for all voters in the state of Florida is the economy. It's affordability. They're struggling to provide for their families. How are you going to make sure that you're using those taxpayer dollars well, and how are you going to help the other board members on the board with you to make sure those dollars are serving the community? Yeah,
that's a great question. I appreciate that. I think that when you look at data, like you said, we're a $5-6 billion engine, and that's construction, that's reuse, that's teachers' pay, that's paying for the bricks and sticks of our schools, right? So ultimately, every decision we make from accountability standpoint has to have the data, has to have the back of the information that provides us school board members or potential board members with the information that we need to make sound financial decisions, right? Things that balance the budget, things that make sense in regards to how we move forward with different innovations, right? It has to fit within the larger framework of what our goals are. And for me, the goal is, to successfully run a school system, you have to balance your budget, understand what your goals are, have your initiatives and priorities, and then align those with the decision making of the board of what's best for the students and what's best for our parents and our teachers and the constituents. So if we're thinking along those lines, I think we will be doing what is best for the voters, because we will be looking at making sure that we're spending money where the money needs to go, and that we're doing initiatives that are in alignment with growth and prosperity for the school system.
And is there any last thing that you think that voters and residents in the community should know about you when they go to the ballot box?
Sure. I want voters to know that I'm committed. A lot of times when people have worked in community, we understand some of the nuances that happen, right? We understand that even though that there has been a lot of coverage in regards to negative things, that how do we work collaboratively together to solve the problems? I'm the type of individual that wants to work with everyone within the school board, with the Teachers Association, with the different providers within our district, to make sure that we're providing a sound quality education for our students. So I think collaboration is important. It's an important goal and an important need for this seat. And if I'm supported by the individuals in District 2, I commit to bringing that to the school board.
Well, thanks so much for sitting down with us. It was a real pleasure.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.